Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. How y'all doing, rock stars? It's the Rona check-in. I'm over it. I'm just over it all. I'm over it. Whatever you guys want to substitute for it, that's what I'm over. I'm just ready for everything to go back to normal, and it's so not going to go back to normal. If it ever does, it's a long, long, long ways away, you guys. But I'm ready for my kids to go back the fuck where they came from. I love them to death, and they actually aren't bad. It's just that lifestyles are different. You know, we've all gotten accustomed to being away from each other, you know, coming back home for holidays and things like that. But they've all settled into their ways when they're in their apartments, and me and Mr. had been settled into our ways in our house. So when we try to bring all this civilization back into this one house, I'm over it. Them niggas don't come alive till 11 o'clock. About 10:57, it's about to get crunk up in the It's Rocks household. They friends coming over, they outside talking. Blue, if Blue hears anything outside of our house, he is barking. And he not gonna stop barking until whatever the fuck is outside our house is taken care of. So when he hears Joe or Jada outside with their friends talking, in the driveway, on the porch, chilling out there, anytime and the sun is down, really anytime during the day, but especially when it's nighttime, he is going to bark, because he's used to me and Mr. shutting this shit down about 10:30. Okay, we cuts off lights, we go in the room, we is in the bed. Okay, it's quiet. All this activity in the house has had Blue just like, what the fuck is going on? So he's barking, and then I got to call them and be like, who the fuck is outside? Whoever's outside, get in a car or something, because Blue is barking like crazy. He's the best watchdog. Bitch, you ain't fixed to come up in this house. Not on Blue's watch. He don't give a fuck if he know you or anything. He sees somebody coming up the stairs, honey, it's on. It's just a whole lot, you guys, and I'm over it. We've been blessed still to not be affected by COVID-19. I mean, as far as the infection is gone, we are still all okay. That's more than I can say for our nation as a whole. Things are getting really, really bad out there. Like, we already knew it was happening, because as they started to open up the states, they had already said, yes, going to be an increase in numbers. But man, these increases are just they're just phenomenal. They're huge. I mean, I think they said California had 6,000 cases in one day. 6,000. I think Texas had 5,500 cases in one day. And as these cases go up, then we know that the death rate will go up as well. I don't know why we didn't think that this was going to happen. I know everybody was in a rush to get back to everyday life, especially the fact that people weren't working, and the economy was in the tank, and the states wanted to make sure that they got back people out there spending money. So you can't spend money if you ain't getting no money. So now people want to go back to work and all. I got all of that, but how much can you work when your whole workforce is sick? It's honestly a mess. And when you actually watch when you watch Dr. Fauci and the other people, all of the other professionals, the specialists in infectious medicine, those that are in that community, I mean, they are just like, it's a fucking shit show. It's bad news, you guys. And it's going to get way worse. And this is still the first. This ain't the second wave. This is not the second wave that they were talking about, that's supposed to be coming in our winter months. This is still the first wave. We just getting another spike in the first wave. People have cabin pressure, cabin heat fever. They want to get out. It's summertime. And when you guys look at the map, it's most of the southern states. Half of the U.S., the bottom half, is the ones that are really, really struggling. Then, of course, over on the West Coast, because you've got the beaches and all. I mean, you can tell what is the reason why these numbers are rising, but it's still like, It's alarming because of the leadership, or the non-leadership, I should say. You know, everybody's just doing whatever the fuck they want to do and not really listening and not really taking the precautions that we were, because we was scared in March. Nigga, we wasn't doing nothing. We didn't sat our ass down some damn where. Went and bought up $400 worth of groceries and went to the house. Here we are in June, almost July, and everybody's ready to get back to life. So, it's just a disaster, really, honestly, if you ask me. And then, of course, that just goes on to change everything else out in the future, which means, like, I'm still waiting to see if the kids are even going to be back in school in August. Joe's school is saying that they are. Jada's school isn't really saying, you know, it's just like, so everything is so up in the air. And I know why it is because they're trying to wait to see if, you know, if the shit really goes downhill. You know, are we going to be in another lockdown? I see another lockdown coming for sure. Even though YSAP says he's not going to order another lockdown, you know, he's not in charge of the states, the governors are. And it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to do it. It's coming again for sure. So, and then I'm, you know, worried about the fact that even though I haven't been furloughed thus far, I feel like if we get to another lockdown situation that we may actually see more furloughs in government. And I'm not looking forward to that either. So it's bad, and it's bad that I'm over it because I need to really just dig in my heels and get prepared for more of this. This ain't the time to be over it because it's not about to be over. I hate to be all Debbie Downer about it, but it's not. I hope you guys, you know, are out there still trying to be safe. I'll admit that I have been out, but every time I go out, I'm nervous. You know, when I get home, I think about like the contact that I've had with people, you know, where we all trying to make the best decisions, trying to be safe. And hopefully you guys are doing the same as well. But yeah, it's a bleak outlook as far as this coronavirus is going on, you guys. It is a bleak outlook. All right, you guys, let's get to the politics. So, YSAP. He's just an idiot. I mean, what else are you supposed to say about it? His rally, people were really excited about the fact that a whole bunch of people didn't go. I mean, like 2/3 of the stadium where he was going to have his first rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't even think it was 2/3 full. And they did like how they do you at church, you know, when everybody is all spread around and the church has a camera there, you know, that they're trying to record. They make everybody come down, like, you know, move down, move down, move down. You saw in that stadium, even the top half of the damn stadium wasn't even occupied, and we don't know what was going on behind the camera because they didn't even pan around for us to actually see the entire stadium. But you got the gist. It was not as full at all as they thought it would be. And, you know, some people are thinking that is a victory, you know, just showing that people are over YSAP. I'm not sure if I'm ready to celebrate that just yet. You know, first of all, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Even you can get some of his base. I'm sure a lot of them still was like, we ain't really trying to be up in this building, you know, in this super spreader situation. So I'm sure that weighed in on why some people didn't come. Yes, I do know about the K-poppers and the black folks that were going around, or just people in general that were actually reserving the tickets who had no intentions of going, just making sure that the seats were empty. Because I even got a link. One of the rock stars actually sent me one, and I cracked up. I was like, y'all petty as fuck, you know. I know that they did do that, and that took up a lot of the seats as well. But I don't know, you guys. It feels like smoke and mirrors because I still feel like the Republicans are so loyal to their party that when they get into the safety of their own voter booth, I still am not ready to say that they're so over it where they are going to vote outside of their party, which makes me feel like they still will vote for YSAP, even knowing that he will destroy this country if he gets another 4 years. I mean, we already on the brink of this shit being real fucked up. So, you know, it just is what it is. I feel like YSAP appeals to his base. That's all he cares about now. He will say some of the most outlandish shit And his base loves it, and that's all he cares about, because he really knows that that is who he has. That's who he has in his pocket. This whole talk about him telling people to slow down the COVID-19 testing. What the fuck? You know, I can't even keep talking about, he's so fucking stupid. Oh my God, he's so stupid. Oh, I don't know what to tell you guys. Slowing down testing, even though they said there's been a rise in 25 states, I think only 13 states are going down. I think it was, so that leaves like 12 states that are like here. But a rise in cases, 25, and you telling the damn nation that you want to slow down COVID. Why? Because you just don't want to know the numbers. You don't want to know the failure in your approach to this pandemic. So instead, just don't even deal with it at all. Talking about ride it out. Oh my God. He's so stupid. It's not just him that's stupid. It's the people that listen to him and think it's a hoax. 6,000 cases in one day, and you're saying that it's a hoax. California. 55 in Texas. You know, 5,500 cases in Texas, and you're saying it's a hoax. People are dying. We're going to be up to 200,000 folks dying. Okay? We done way long ago surpassed all the other countries, including China, where it started in Wuhan. We done surpassed all of them, which I knew was going to happen, because the Americans, the society we already have so many freedoms and liberties and rights and shit that, you know, I knew that people were going to be like, I'm not wearing no mask. I'm not staying inside. You can't tell me I can't do this, that, and the other, you know. So I knew it was going to get to this point that we were just going to end up being our own enemy. Because we just can't sit the fuck down. We cannot listen. More young people dying. It's not just an old people dying disease. We've got people that are asymptomatic. So there are people that spread but don't have the symptoms themselves. I mean, y'all just... ugh. Also in politics, you guys, let's talk about voter suppression. Now, they just been real blatant with it this voter season. This is election year. Should be wild election year all the time, but this is really the wildest it's ever been. You guys already knew about what happened here in Georgia. People standing in line for 3 hours on the average, you know, to vote, which it should not be that. Problems with the machines, people not knowing where to go, voting locations being changed without folks knowing. You know, the list goes on and on. Well, here in Kentucky, I had already seen before the actual Kentucky primary even happened, but not here, but in Kentucky, they said that there were 600,000 people that was assigned to one voter location, that they had closed a lot of the other locations for whatever reason. 600,000 people in one location, you guys know, you know that's ridiculous. Okay, you know that's ridiculous. Usually these locations only have maybe 20-25 machines. If you're gonna have a location that got 600,000 people coming through there, I would imagine you would need to have like 100-200 machines there that you would be able to service. But then even trying to filter all these people through there, how do you get 600,000 people through one fucking location? You know, so that right there lets you know that they was trying to make sure that everybody was not able to get in there to vote. I guess the voter booths was going to close at 7 p.m. They closed the doors. There was still a whole bunch of people that were out there that were not able to get inside there. You know, you've seen videos of people banging on the damn windows, banging on the doors, trying to get inside. Like, what the fuck? You know, there was an emergency court hearing or whatever, and the judges said that they needed to open it back up, so they did open it back up. But you still got to know that people weren't able to get in there. I mean, frustration, you know, confusion, you know, people went the fuck home, you know. So they definitely are able to suppress your vote in this way, because we can't do nothing about it until after it's happened, or we don't do any, you know, nothing is done about it until after it happens. Now, these are primaries. The presidential election is going to be even scarier, because If we have more of this bullshit going on, then you know what will happen. Okay, so hopefully these states, and it seems to happen way more in the southern states, because you know, we in the Bible Belt, these are mostly Republican states, and even though there are more and more people that are getting out to vote more than ever before, you know, that will go against the Republican Party, you know, and they know it. So they are really trying to make sure that they do whatever they can to get these people from voting. And that shit is annoying. I'm telling you, I'm over it. I'm just over that shit today. I'm over this bullshit. I hope that my Kentucky rock stars in particular were able to get out and vote. I think they had New York. It was New York, New Jersey. It was Kentucky. You know, it was like 6 or 7 states that voted in that election. I don't have any numbers of, or, you know, any big things that happened. I know there's something happened big in New York. Somebody was voted in that they didn't expect to win. So if you guys know something, I'm sorry. I just didn't look into any of that. So if you guys do know about what that one big special case was in New York, the person that won, y'all go and put it in the comments below, child. Guys, let's talk about your boy Bubba Wallace. You know, he is a NASCAR driver. He is actually the only African-American NASCAR driver. And you guys might remember me talking about him. He was the one that pushed for NASCAR to get rid of the Confederate flag. And the Confederate flag was a big part of the NASCAR culture. And when they agreed to remove the Confederate flag, a lot of people were upset about it. I was actually shocked that NASCAR even did it because, like I said, it was a big part of their culture. But they did get rid of it. A lot of people were upset with it. Some drivers said that they weren't going to drive anymore if they couldn't have their Confederate flag. Whatever. Get the fuck on then, okay? Because is it really about the fucking flag, or is it about the race? You're driving your goddamn car. Now you so worried about the damn flag, you can't do your job, you know, the one you get paid for. So you know, that was going on last week. Well, evidently this week, someone noticed in Bubba Wallace's garage number 4, in Talladega. Is it in Talladega? Don't quote me, but I believe it was. They noticed that there was a noose hanging in his garage. Bubba Wallace was not there and did not see the noose originally, okay? He actually was contacted by the CEO of NASCAR. The guy's name is Steve Phelps, I think it is. Bubba Wallace said that he called him, that he was basically in tears and told him about the noose, you know, wanted Bubba Wallace to come and talk to him and, you know, so they can get on the same page about this noose situation. So he said he went and spoke with them, that he was in tears. He showed him the picture. It was noose hanging in the garage, that they had called in the FBI to do an investigation because we can't be having shit like this going on. So the FBI rushed on in and they did their investigation. That actually went by very quickly. I don't know, you know, whatever. So they were able to come to conclude quite quickly that this wasn't a noose, that it was not a racially motivated incident, and that this actually, the rope that was hanging in the garage was the garage door pull. Somebody had put that on like as an extension so that they can grab it and pull the garage door down. Okay, and evidently they have a lot of ropes that they put on these garage handles to pull down. Bubba Wallace said that he appreciated the fact that the FBI came in. He's going to take their word for it that it was not a racially motivated incident, mostly because they said that the noose has been hanging there, or the rope has been hanging there since October of 2019. And that, I guess, in general, they rotate these garages. Nobody knows ahead of time who's getting assigned to what. So if this was put up in October 19, they probably, 2019, they wouldn't know that Bubba Wallace was going to end up in this garage in June of 2020. Okay, so it was a random rope that was put up. However, Bubba Wallace said that when he actually saw the rope, it is still fashioned like a noose. It was still tied the way that a noose looks. It's not just a case of a rope being thrown through the handle and tied so that you have a loop big enough for you to pull down. It looked like a noose. So that is why, why people thought that it was a noose, and why the action was taken. When I think about it, I'm thinking to myself, like, even if, that wasn't going after him per se, whoever put that fucking rope up there originally, I mean, why the fuck you know how to tie a noose? That's your first go-to. That's, you don't think of none of the other different ties that you might have learned in Boy Scouts. You go straight to the noose. That makes me wonder, when else have you been fashioning nooses around here? So, I mean, it's strange. The story is strange. And people started to say that maybe Bubba Wallace had put it up there, that this was another Jussie Smollett case. And I don't think that at all. Like I said, they interviewed I didn't say that, but they interviewed the people around there, and they even had pictures and I guess video of this rope that has just been hanging there the whole time. People are more aware now, so they see things, and if they see it and look like a noose, that's probably where that came from. So yeah, I don't believe that he did that. I don't believe that he did it. But of course, people will put the blame on him because they're trying to say, like, black people are also trying to fan the flames of this whole Black Lives Matter and call for justice against racism. So what do you guys think, though? Did you guys hear about what happened? Do you think Bubba Wallace was involved? Do you think that there was actually somebody that had malice when they put that noose there? I mean, it was a noose, damn it. Even Bubba said it was. So I'm gonna just keep on calling it that. But you guys just weigh in on it. Go on and talk about it below. All right, you guys, so the BET Awards is this weekend. It will be virtual. It will be hosted by your girl, Amanda Seales. It will be on the CBS network. There's a lot of firsts that's going on in this this next BET Awards, and I'm bummed that it's going to be virtual. That's not something that I was looking forward to. You guys know that the BET Awards is my very favorite awards. It's always chock full of fucking niggatry. It's good entertainment. It's all the music that I listen to, or that I'm familiar with, and or usually, it's just black people and black entertainment, and that's just what I like to see, even with the foolishness that comes with it sometimes. So I'm bummed that it's going to be virtual, but not surprised because Rona, right? So the virtual, that's a first. Amanda Seales, it'll be a first for her. I don't think she's hosted anything. I don't think I've ever seen her host anything. So that's a big deal for her. Bummer again that she won't be able to be on a big stage and be in front of a big crowd and all of that. And it's going to be interesting to see how she does. I don't know if it's going to be live. I'm not sure if it's going to be. Yeah, I guess it will be live. I think it will be live. BET always has been live in the past. So, I think they may keep it live again this time. I was just watching the commercials for it today, though, and I was like, this is not... The entertainment portion, the people that are performing, is nobody that I want to see. That's terrible to say, huh? I mean, it's all big names. It's big names. Probably the one that's the most relevant right now, the most, hip, and the one that will draw in the younger crowd, of course, is Meg Thee Stallion. She's going to be performing on there. The rest of the people, John Legend, J. Hud, Alicia Keys, Wayne Brady, Usher. I mean, for the BET Awards, this is who we have performed. Do any of them have songs out? Like recent? I know Usher does. Usher does, and I actually like the Usher song. But Usher, like when I listen to that lineup, I'm like, what are they about to be singing? J. Hud, John Legend, Alicia Keys, Wayne Brady. I was just like, oh, this is, not if you're trying to bring in the younger viewers. I mean, it's cool for me. All day I can watch them, and even though I ain't really trying to see Alicia Keys and John Legend like that, but You know, I'm saying those people appeal to my age group. You know, younger kids, you guys want to see Wayne Brady? I was like, how did Wayne Brady get that gig? Because he's on Let's Make a Deal and it's going to be on CBS, and CBS is on, Let's Make a Deal is on CBS. Like, I can't figure out how they came up with these people. But I'm going to go on and watch it, you guys. I'm going to watch it because I always enjoy the BET Awards, like I said, but nobody, we ain't got nobody. They ain't talked about no young rap group performers, and none of the young rappers, no youngness, little that, YFN, YBN, you know, all of the initials and shit. But none of them. Somebody told me to make sure that I pumped it up. I guess I'm not doing a good job of pumping it up. But I really think that we need to watch, we need to support, especially right now, while we all in this Black Lives Matter and everything. Okay, well, Black Music Awards matters as well. So you guys go on and lend your support and at least see how Amanda Seale does and who wins. I don't even know who's been nominated. Like, I don't even know how any of this is going to go. But we'll see. But you guys make sure you tune in on Sunday. I believe it's Sunday night, 8 o'clock on CBS. You guys, let me just say how much it's going to hurt my heart to have to talk about this, because you guys know how much I love Jimmy Kimmel. He's like my favorite. I love to watch his talk show. I just get his humor. And I've always felt like Jimmy Kimmel was a good person. I did not watch Jimmy Kimmel in his earlier days. I probably became a fan of Jimmy Kimmel in the last 10 years. But I was aware of, some of the things that he's done in the past, but didn't really follow him like that until maybe the last 10 years or so. But like I said, I like Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's not problematic, and I think that he is a good person. However, you can't ignore the fact that earlier in his career, he made some bad decisions and did some type of comedy in blackface when he was on The Man Show. People could accuse him of being racist or misogynistic or whatever. He had sexist things to say. And he kind of just was all over. Now, you have to remember that in that time, people were not all over everybody about racism and sexism and homophobia. And so people just kind of said whatever they wanted to say and did whatever they wanted to do and weren't called to the carpet for it. We even know that Andy tried to pin Eddie Murphy to the wall about his comedy, routine and him talking about gay people in his stand-up back in the 80s. What they did back then, we ain't doing that shit today. I'm not a part of cancel culture. I'm not. I feel like people make mistakes. People have said things and done things that was not cool back in the day, and once they realized that their mistake and they corrected themselves and didn't do it anymore, then I'm good with that. Even I myself have said things on here. I've learned a lot on this channel. I tell you guys that all the time. Things that I would say, you guys would come in right away and be like, Roxanne, that is not cool. You cannot say that. Okay, you shouldn't say that. And you guys explained to me why it was offensive to whoever I might have been talking about. I won't even say them again, but if you've been watching me long enough, you know. I corrected it. I don't even say it. Now I wince when I hear people say some of those words. I know I'm not doing that shit no more, So I'm okay if people correct the mistakes that they make. Don't do it again. I'm good with that. I'm not a part of that cancel culture. However, I don't like when people also ignore when something is so blatantly out there. You're going to have to address it. You're going to have to say something. So Jimmy Kimmel, with all of this that has come about, I'm not sure if it's just coincidental or if it was intentional, but he ended up going on vacation from his show because he's been filming from home. So he's taking a vacation, which he does do every year. He took a vacation, and then he's going to have like people come in and host while he's been gone. He's going to be off for a couple of months. But now we've got all of this shit going on in the background about him in particular being in blackface when he was like on the Man Show or something. He's gonna have to address it. I'm not sure if he needs to come back off of vacation just for one day. He gonna have to say something, because The longer that you stay away and let all this shit brew up, you know, I think a lot of people think sometimes that we'll just leave it alone. We'll just get out of the way and then it'll die down. We ain't in the die down right now. People are so on every single thing that they want to know some answers right away. You don't have the convenience and the luxury of letting shit die down anymore. So he needs to come back off a vacation for a day just so he can talk and say, like, yeah, I made a mistake. You know, I apologize. You know, they was doing that then. We ain't doing that no more. Whatever he needs to do, because Jimmy Fallon, you guys know that Jimmy Fallon had did some shit in the day. He said sorry. Everybody gave him, mostly because they still like Jimmy Fallon. And I think that if Jimmy Kimmel would have that same approach, that it will go away for him too. But while he's on this damn vacation, it's just going to get worse for him. So and he's pretty smart, you know, so I feel like that he realizes that he needs to say something. And hopefully he's just trying to get his words together, and that it'll come very, very soon. But yeah, it did hurt my heart to say, I know it's a whole bunch of people out there that's probably just like praying to the good Lord Jesus that they shit don't come up. Hell, if I was a white actor that had did some questionable shit back in the day, or said some shit back in the day that could come back to haunt me, I would just come on out and say it now. Apologize before anybody could even bring that shit out. I would probably just go on and say, I'm sorry right now before anybody else, because it's worse when somebody has to dig it out and bring it before the people. So, yeah, I was disappointed to see that. But, I mean, I knew about some of the shit that he did, and I was just like, yeah, Jimmy, you're going to have to say something. You're going to have to put people's minds and anger at ease, and then you could probably just get on with your life. What you guys think about that, though? I'm sure he's learned that skit, or them skits that he used to do, that shit is not funny or cool anymore. And then lastly, you guys, in quickies, I don't know how this video has gotten so long. Maybe I've just been long-winded. K. Michelle and Tamar. These are two girls that you guys, you know, I've decided to love from afar. And they're in a beef again. This time because Tamar was on the Queen Supreme Court, is that the name of it, with T.S. Madison, and she asked her if she would do a versus battle with K. Michelle, and instead of her answering, there was a part, I think you could, if you didn't want to answer, you could like ring a bell or something, and you know, Tamar, over the top as she can be, you know, made a big production out of ringing the bell, like hell fuck no bitch. K. Michelle felt slighted by that, would have preferred that she just took the high road and not even you know, responded to that. However, you know, K. Michelle is gonna be K. Michelle all the time. So she went off on her and brought up a lot of Tamar's dirt from the past, and supposedly she slept with Michael Maudlin, which is Jermaine Dupri's father, who was big in the is big in the music industry. And we've heard about him getting with plenty of the ladies, supposedly even had slept with Candy, and that was, you know, a point of contention between the group Escape back in the day, and between Candy and the sisters in the group, because they were putting out all this shit and Candy didn't like it and all of that. Okay, so K. Michelle brought up the fact that Tamar got caught by Jermaine Dupri's mother, and she beat her ass in an elevator because of this affair. And there's question whether or not it was Jermaine Dupri's mother or like another wife that he had. You know, the particulars, the particulars in this accusation doesn't matter. It's more the fact that Tamar got her ass beat by one of his wives. It's been confirmed by Da Brat on the Ricky Smiley show. She said she actually was there. You know, that it did happen. But the whole thing is like, oh, that beef between the two of them is just so tired. But it's not surprising. I mean, K. Michelle don't normally let shit like that go. Tamar hasn't responded, mostly because I don't know what she can say other than, I'm not going to feed into this. And you don't really have to say that. You can just not feed into it. So maybe that's what she's doing. But she kind of had to know that all of that bell ringing and all that she did, she had to know that K. Michelle was going to come back. But again, I love these two. I love their music. I think they're extremely talented. Love their voices, but their antics outside of music is just where I just have to be like, okay, I'm just gonna step it on back and I'm just gonna listen to y'all music and I ain't gonna get involved in all the rest of y'all shit that y'all got going on there. But what is life without an occasional Tamar and K beef, right? And then lastly, you guys, Teyana Taylor is finally confirmed what her daughter, Junie, confirmed for us about a month ago. Is that she and her husband Iman are infanticipating, that she is pregnant and they are expecting a baby soon. Junie let the cat out of the bag when Teyana Taylor was on a live on her IG, and Junie said something along the lines of, "Can I kiss the baby?" and then kind of like pointing to Teyana's stomach, okay? And Teyana did ignore that, but people heard it and people started to say like, "Oh, we ain't really seen Teyana too much," and you know, all of that, put two and two together, and yes, she is pregnant. She just wanted to wait, I'm supposing, until she was probably out of that first trimester. So congratulations to the three of them, that happy family there. They're all very cute. Teyana was being interviewed by Nick Cannon on one of Nick Cannon's many shows. I don't even know what the fuck it was, but you know, she was being interviewed by him, and she said that Erykah Badu will be her doula. She is going to deliver this next baby in their home, which is the most fucking random, but I mean, extremely right decision. I mean, just feels like that's something what Erykah Badu would do, you know, go and deliver Teyana and Iman is it Imani or Iman Shumpert's baby? Just crazy, but not surprising. I'm not surprised that Erykah Badu would be a doula. She seems like she could do something like that for sure. I know that Teyana on her album, which is very good. Have you guys listened to it? Do you like it? I actually love that album. It's good. She redid or did took some sample from an Erykah Badu song, and that's how those two, I guess, have connected, and I guess have become fast friends. And now we got Erykah Badu delivering her baby child. You know, the first baby was delivered in the closet, wasn't it, by the daddy, and now we've got Erykah Badu. So a whole bunch of greatness going on there. But like I said, congratulations to the happy couple, and I guess the baby will be due sometime later on this year. All right, you guys, that is it. Fixing to get off of here. I'm gonna get these videos edited for you and up for you guys to enjoy and comment on, okay? We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.